Hi guys, how are you doing? This is Ying Han. I'm Ying Han,
And I'm Jess, and we're here to talk to you today about.
spirituality and as well as fulfillment. How do you get fulfillment in your life today? Um, Dr. Martha Friedman said that success based on anything but internal fulfillment is bound to be empty. Welcome to Fulfillment 101 with Your Fulfilled Life. So I'm Ying Han, and I'm a peak performance coach as well as an innovation coach for YH. It's a community of people who believe in human potential, believe in internal goodness, and bringing that out into a larger way to impact more lives. My clients span all over the world in 4 continents, and I do workshops, I do one-on-one coaching, as well as online courses on passion to action.
Okay, thanks. And I'm Jess, and my company is JMH Alternative, new one. So my kind of goal and mission in life is to help people get in touch with their inner worlds and how that relates to their outer worlds. So doing that through energy healing, through a practice called chakra dance, facilitating meditation, and moving into more spiritual counseling to help people apply practical spiritual tools to their lives that fit with the way we live in our modern day.
So why do we do what we do today? Growing up as expats and moving around the world so much, we realize that a lot of our friends and a lot of the people around us either have one of two problems. One, they either have a lot of opportunities to succeed, and these are ambitious, high-flying individuals, but they just don't know what to focus on. The opportunities are bounty and plentiful, but to truly find something that connects with inside of themselves and what they see in their careers is something that's not as common as you might think. And the second thing is also people who are in jobs and who are happily going along in their careers oftentimes find that there's a little sense of emptiness inside.
Yeah, absolutely. So our intention is really to help people connect with themselves on a deeper level and to find practical tools that can help them to do so. So using our own personal experience, we both had points in our lives that made us turn to change and new things. So we really want to spread that, help people find something that allows a little more fulfillment in their own lives.
Mm-hmm. And not only just connection within themselves, but also ways to connect larger and more powerfully in the outer world.
Okay, so spirituality. Why are we talking about this? Well, for me personally, I got to a crisis point in my life, felt very purposeless, felt very unfulfilled, and as a result, I turned to spirituality. I started with meditation and started going into exploring different practices and seeing what could help me find a sense of inner peace and balance that would last even when my external world wasn't looking so great. So it was really a sense of missing something. I had checked all these boxes of things that I thought would make me happy in life, getting an apartment with good friends, having a stable career, going back to university, studying the courses that I wanted to. And there was still something huge missing on the inside. So I was searching for answers to the bigger questions that I had in life, things like, what am I doing here? Am I a good person? How am I supposed to live my life? And things like, does everything happen for a reason? So spirituality for me was the answer to those questions. So spirituality today often gets confused with religion or having to adopt very certain sets of beliefs or traditions or practices that perhaps conflict with what people believe for themselves individually, or perhaps those beliefs make them uncomfortable or something like that. So we're really here to kind of emphasize the point that today in modern spirituality, it can be so highly personalized and so individual. You can create your own version of spirituality. This is what I had to do when I started, because I had a lot of misconceptions and preconceived ideas about what spirituality really meant. So I got to choose what worked for me. And the great thing about spirituality is it will meet you wherever you are. Spirituality is a broad pathway that can be open to so many different interpretations, and it doesn't have to conflict with the beliefs that you hold. You could be atheist, you could be agnostic, and still have a set of spiritual principles. It could just mean living life with more values, more morals perhaps, or just creating boundaries for yourself where you spend more time on the things that you love, your passions, spending more time with family, out in nature, for example. People find their spirituality through art, through music, through all different avenues of life. So it really can be adapted to anything that you would like it to be. Spirituality can actually provide us with a really great sense of emotional well-being. We can, once we get connected and we figure out the practices that work for us, we can find a sense of gratitude, sense of compassion for our fellow human beings, and this incredible deeper sense of connection. And I know we'll be talking about a deeper sense of connection in our next video. So what spirituality really does for me and for many, many others is provide a platform or an avenue in which we get to feel this internal sense of stability. So it's finding an inner peace that, when the material things perhaps start to go wrong, if we lose the house, the car, the job, how do we stay sane, balanced, and still feeling like we have a purpose? How do we hold a sense of contentment and awe for the world within us, that extra something that gives us comfort and peace at all times, no matter what? So in order to be able to feel these things, this sense of comfort and this internal stability and this fulfillment, first of all, you really need to understand what that actually means in very practical terms in a way that you can understand. So I'm going to hand over now to Ying Han.
So fulfillment. Fulfillment is such a nebulous word. What does fulfillment actually mean to you? Knowing what fulfills us not only is something that is going to be able to bring us more wholeness and more connectedness, but it also can bring a different way of looking at our lives, as Jess mentioned earlier. So one of the things that fulfillment is really really confusing about is what exactly does that mean to you? What fulfills and what values people have can change depending on their environment, their society, and the geographical location and their families. And these are all different items that you bring in your life as you grow up. And oftentimes fulfillment are defined by values. And values are defined through growing up and the way that you were raised. So the small little problem is, if there's any area in your life right now that you find is not exactly the way you want it, chances are that you're not being fulfilled, and a lot of your values and your fulfillment values are not being met. And a small little solution is to pinpoint exactly what in those areas are your fulfillment values that are independent of your surroundings, so that you can know what exactly fulfills you. This can work in different areas of your life. It can work in relationships, it can work in finance and money, it can work in health. You could also have areas of your life including education and personal development and spiritual growth. So that's why strategy number 1 is to know exactly what fulfills you. I had a client once who came in and who was looking to be more fulfilled in her relationships as well as her career. One of the things that she found out that she was doing was that she was dating all these guys, and she had plenty dates and plenty opportunities to meet these people, but time and time again the relationship wasn't working out. And what she found out was that she was dating the same type of guys over and over and over again, but yet she wasn't feeling fulfilled. So we took a look at her fulfillment list and elicited what actually fulfilled her, and we realized that it was the thing that wasn't being met was that she was going for guys that were cute and that were looking externally attractive, whereas internally what she was looking for was emotional support. Once she found out that was what it was, along with some of the other items on her list, she was able to attract someone who was much more in line with what she wanted. So clarity in what you know that you want brings that closer to you. Another example is in career. When you're doing and understanding what fulfills you in career, you can say something like, I want to have a collaborative work environment. I want to be handsomely compensated. What's important to me about career is that I'm working with a bunch of intellectual people, a group of highly visionaries. And knowing these sometimes is able to attract to you different types of work that is a lot more defined rather than just the position of what it is and the industry. Of course, those could be also a part of your list of values. So a very simple way of doing that is to pick an item or pick an area of your life in which you want to have a lot more fulfillment and ask yourself this question. What is important to me? What is important to me in this area? And list those items down. And once you do that, you have a clear set of items that are instinctually important to you. And try at this point to not really listen to your head, but really connect and write down the first thing that comes into your mind or the first thing that comes out of your feelings. And that's what that's going to do is that's going to give you a list of items that immediately resonates with you. And after that, the interesting thing is that the list itself tells you what's important. But you can also figure out a way to hide and to identify how they are arranged in your unconscious mind. And that is something that we'll include in our next steps. So if any of this has resonated with you, either you're feeling a certain area of your life is unfulfilled and you want to find out more about what exactly fulfills you in that area, or you're really fulfilled but you're gung-ho and you want to know what you can do to increase that potential and maximize that fulfillment in all areas of your life, we would like to offer you a complimentary gift for our schedules next week and open up a little bit of time to give this 30-minute session with you. And in this, you'll find not only tools to use for fulfillment, but also spiritual tools and practical spiritual tools.
Yeah, so practical spiritual tools have helped so many people, and it's beyond religion. This can work for absolutely anybody. Very easy, simple things that you can integrate into your day, perhaps even only 5 minutes of your time. And all these little actions will begin to build up your feeling of fulfillment in those specific areas of your lives in which you want to maximize or just increase your fulfillment.
And in addition to that, more importantly, we're going to be doing these videos every so often, once a week for the next 3 weeks. And the next topic is on connection and how to really connect with yourself and what your inner voice is. So stay tuned for that. And if you guys like this, we would do more videos as well. You guys can send in questions, topic suggestions, anything that you're interested in, and we're going to be able to cover those.
Yeah, absolutely. So just shoot us an email. You can find our email addresses in the information below. You can also find on there links to our schedulers so you can schedule your complimentary 30-minute session with myself or Ying Han throughout the next week. So we'll really look forward to hearing from you.
And look forward to supporting you.